All right, welcome to week 2. Now we get down to the good stuff. Now we've got a bit of money coming into your cafe, a little bit extra money. We're going to focus on your demographic. We're going to really get to know your customers. This is important. This is really important. It's probably more important than what you sell, because your customers will tell you what to sell. Knowing who your customer is will dictate what you put in your shop and how much to sell it, and it'll tell you exactly what you need to sell. If you don't know your customers, you really don't know your business. So this week, it's probably going to be one of the most important weeks out of the whole of the 6 weeks. So focus up on each one of the exercises this week, get stuck right into it, spend a little bit extra time if you can, and keep on coming back to it, because knowing your demographic is knowing your business. All right, let's get stuck into it. All right, welcome to week 2, day 1. Today, we're going to get very specific about who you're selling to. We're going to really focus on your demographic, and we're going to draw up an avatar, like something that you would do in a video game. We're going to figure out exactly what they look like, where they shop, what their diet is, what they do for a living. We need to be very, very specific about who you're selling to. There's a company that you may have heard of before. It's called Starbucks. They started in Australia 10, 15 years ago. And within 5 years, they'd shut all but a few stores in Australia. They lost over $100 million and closed nearly 70 stores. The reason they shut them all down is because they failed to take into consideration Australia's likes and dislikes over what they were selling. They just set up shop and they started selling. Every day we see cafes open and close just as fast without thinking about who they're selling to. Your customer is the most important thing that you need to consider. So this week is possibly, like I said in the intro video, is possibly the most important week that you have to consider. And we'll keep on building up on this over the next few weeks as well. Think about who your customer is. Think about how tall they are, what they look like, what color hair they've got, what their interests are, what their hobbies are. The more time you spend on this, the more specific you can build your business for this, okay? Go through the workbook, answer all the questions, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, welcome to week 2, day 2. They say each one of us knows 300 people. If each one of your customers knows 300 people, what are the chances of them bringing in a couple of those extra people? Do you know the lifetime value, or LTV, of a cafe customer is several $1,000s? Somewhere in this vicinity of $2,000 to $5,000. And that's worked out over a few years of them buying a coffee every single day. So you can work it out. 365 times $5 over the space of 2 or 3 years, that's several $1,000s. If each one of your customers brought in one extra person, that'd be worth a lot more money for you. That might be worth offering them a couple of freebies to bring in other people. Who do they know? Have they got some family and friends that they could bring in? What do their family and friends want? If they've got kids, do they want a little play area? This is all about thinking about exactly who your avatar is and what they might know, who they might know that they can bring in. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So follow through the workbook. Today, we're going to think about how much value your customers can bring into your shop. So now that you know exactly what they look like and what they like themselves, now we think about who they know and what we can do to get them into the shop as well. Okay? Go through the workbook and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, welcome to Wednesday of week 2. Today we're going to focus on what your customer wants. Tomorrow we'll think about what they need, but today it's about what they want, specifically the free stuff. So it's more like the stuff of the Wi-Fi, coffee cards, a free cookie on the top of their coffee cup. It's not really about what other cafes are doing, and I know they're doing all that sort of stuff, but today you need to think about why you're offering this sort of stuff to your customers. So free Wi-Fi might be because you've got uni students there that need that, or they want that. Or you might have little doggy bag offerings for some of the customers that bring their dogs around, or little treats for them. Today it's about what your customers want. Tomorrow we're going to focus on what they need, but today it's about what they want. And as Jagger says, you can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. See you tomorrow. Okay, welcome to week 2, Thursday. Today we're going to think about what your customer needs. Now the difference between need and want is a want is something they can do without. So Wi-Fi they can do without. They'd like it in your shop, they want it in your shop, but a toilet is something they need. If they don't get it there, they're going to leave and go somewhere else. So the main difference between a want and a need is something that they're going to take their business elsewhere to get. So say a 5-minute drive-through service for an office worker might be something that they need. If they don't get it, they're going to take their business elsewhere. Say for a soccer mum who's got the kids in the car, they might want you to run their coffee out to them. That's something that if they can't leave their kids in the car, they can't come into the coffee and leave their kids in the car, so they might need that from you. And if they can't get that, if they don't have drive-through service or you can't get it to them, then they'll take their business elsewhere. If it's an elderly person, you don't have a wheelchair ramp, they need that and they can't get in, then they'll go elsewhere. So this is stuff that your customers, you have to service your demographic, and if you don't have it, they're going to take their business elsewhere. That's the difference between want and need. So go through the workbook and see if you can really get into the head of your avatar. Now you know exactly who they are, we can start thinking about exactly the things that you need to become to look after them. Okay? Good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, week 2 Friday. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of the second week. Today's a simple day. You don't have to spend a lot of time on this and you might already have it nailed, but today we're going to figure out exactly how you take payment and what else you can change in there to make life easier for your customer. So things like a payment app might, if you've got office workers, you've got people on the run, an app so people can order and pay on their phone and then just run in and collect might be something worth looking at. Cash out for some customers might be something worth looking at as well. There might be a few little things you can tweak about your payment system that might help some of your customers. If you've got a tap and go, that's great. If not, it's really something you need to look at. And there's so many different things on the market that you can look at as well for your different payment methods. Next week, we're going to think about our menu. So it's going to be a big week. So that's why don't spend too long on this today. And again, you might already have this sort of thing nailed, but look at a couple of different apps. If your customers are people that like to be on the run, an app is a really good way of collecting some payment, but also cash out and have a look at different cards that you can accept as well. You want to try and accept all the cards that are available to you. All right, have a great weekend and I will see you on Monday.